Hey, good night everybody, and welcome to Sunday Night Live. My name is Mr. Charles. If you don't know me by now, well, now you know. And if you are here, it's probably because you're a CSEC student and you're in Form 5 and you are going to be doing you're going to be doing your SBA next week. Not next week, next year. That's what I wanted to say. Next year. And right. So welcome to all the newbies. First time you're on the channel. Your parents probably told you about it, or you saw it from yeah, wherever it may be. So everybody on the inside, I see all my mods are here. Ren, Jared, Spanish, Gio, and Javish. You're all here. Taking the meme for tonight. Taking the meme. Because you may be in Form 5. All the folks that are in Form 5, say hi in the chat. Wave your hand. Do something. Some of the folks that are here would have been with me from last year. So my mods are there. So let's go through basic all people are in Form 5, eh? Javish, you in Form 5? No. Javish, are you in Form 5? I ain't too sure. Alright, so to the folks in the Student Hub, share this oh, well, that's good to know. Was in Form 5, yeah. Yeah, share this in the Student Hub, share this on your IG. Sure. If you wrote CSEC this year, you're not in Form 5, you're in Form Limbo. And you are waiting on Tuesday for the server to crash. Yeah, share it in your WhatsApp groups or whatnot. I will be pasting a link for you. Copy. Pasting link. Right, yeah. So you can share that link on the IG while I do the usual. And if you don't know what the usual is, well, you'll find out tonight. Alright, my name is Mr. Charles. makeITsimpleTT is my online name, a presence person. I teach IT, I teach you stuff. If you can't access the results on Friday, how long do you have to wait? Ha ha ha! Your question is funny. Yeah. Sky Philip, SYKIE, Psyche. Psyche or Sky? Psyche. Yes. So this is my website. It's called makeITsimpleTT.com. If you are looking for good IT tuition services from me, you go to my tuition site and they will show you all the classes that I have available. The classes will be listed. Ooh, that Cape IT, that's not on Saturday anymore. Now that changed. Okay, I have to edit my website. I will do that. But right now I have CSEC, Cape IT, and stuff. And then when you click fill out the form, you will fill out the form and you will go to that. Okay. Alright, so for all the people that are in, make sure the likes match the views. That would be great. It would be very highly recommended that you do so. Yes, if you know somebody in Form 4 who is Form 4 going into Form 5 doing IT, you may want to tell them to jump in now, because we're going to talk about the SBA, the IT SBA. Jared, the day I get sponsored by Lenovo, I'll give you $500 from it. Whenever that day is. Alright, so first thing you need to do is you need to understand the syllabus. So let me get the syllabus out there. Veronica, good. Oh, right. Next thing is well, the people that receiving results Tuesday here, Jazzy, because I have loyal students. I have students that understand that when a teacher go all out for you, you just go all out for that teacher too. It's a respect, it's a love. So they just here vibing because they like the vibes, and that's okay, and I'm okay with that. Oh, you have to teach them the lingo too. When you learn something new, what emoji do you have to put? When you learn something new, show them the emoji that you have to put. This is for all the new Form 5s, people that are in Form 5. Thank you. Right, anytime you learn something new, you have to put the scholar hat. And anytime you don't know what's going on, well, yeah, you just ask a question. If things are really easy and you're like, oh gosh, boy, sir, that's real easy, that ain't really challenging me. Alright, cool, then you will put the cake. And if it's super, super easy and like are wasting your time and are insulting your intelligence, you'll put the whole cake, not the slice of cake. Alright, cool. So all the Form 5 children that are here, that are preparing for their exam in 2021, welcome to you. So we're going through Microsoft Word for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I am going to show you how to do basic things that you need to be able to do. You'd have a few, Jared. I just think that they don't have YouTube accounts, so they won't comment. They won't be able to comment yet. They're just kind of viewing because they don't really know how this thing does work yet. But they're here. I know a few Form 5s who would have said, all right, I'll come in Sunday night to see what's going on. All right, so let's start. We've been at it for 8 minutes. All right, so this is the SBA, and we're going through the different parts of the SBA, which would be, we're starting with word processing, which is 20 marks, right? So in your SBA, you're going to have 20 marks, and you're going to use these skills that they have here. You must be able to do any 4 of these, right? Put things in bold, italics, or underline, justification, center, full, change line spacing, superscript and or subscript, change the font size, or do page numbering. So any 4 of these will get you 4 marks. Then you have another 2 marks that you get for doing anything like page layout, which is changing the margins, changing the orientation, changing the paper sizes, changing the text orientation, or using correct header or footer or footnotes or endnotes. So somewhere in your work you have to do that. Then you have to insert a graphic or something in the document, or some sort of table, which will give you 2 marks, and then you have to put columns somewhere, then you have to put tables in somewhere, and then auto generation of table of contents in a suitable location, at least 2 levels of heading, suitable headings chosen. You could get 1 mark each for that, but you can only select any 2 of those. So if you don't have your, if you don't know your syllabus, the description in this video will have the syllabus, a link to the syllabus. You download that, download that syllabus with your friend. Mail merge facility, next week I'll be going through mail merge and fillable forms, and then the last part is web design. So today we basically going to go through doing the different formatting features, especially things with the table and whatnot, right? So I have Microsoft Word open, and we're going to start. Are you ready to start? Thumbs up if you're ready to start, and we're going. So for today's illustration, I'm going to just go through some of the basic things that you need to be able to do in your Microsoft Word's Microsoft Word portion of SBA. So in order to do that, I'm going to generate some random text, which will be equal rand, open brackets, close brackets. Actually, I'm going to get 10 paragraphs. So equal rand, open brackets, 10, right? So I get 10 random paragraphs, because I'm not going to sit down here and type out 10 paragraphs for you. That would be a total waste of my time. So I'm going to show you all that again. I go and I type equal rand, and whatever number I put inside here will be the amount of paragraphs I get. So I want 10, so I click that and I get 10. Cool. Right, so here's some easy ways to get marks. Somewhere in your document, you're going to have to put a heading and put center. So I'm going to put sample SBA document. So by me highlighting this, clicking center, and then pressing B for bold, I have gotten 2 marks. So somewhere in your document they'll ask you to center something and put it bold. Cool. So I put bold and I align something to the center. Guess what? I just got 2 marks there out of those 4. Then I could change the line spacing, I could do superscript or subscript, I could change the font size, I could do page numbering. So I'll do all of them for you. Line spacing, if you highlight a paragraph and you go on top here, you'll see a little icon that says line spacing. There are 2 arrows going up and down. You click on it, and then you could change the line spacing to double. You have double your line spacing. That's the next mark. Then, let's say you have to use superscript or subscript. So let's say, like hypothetically speaking, they tell you that you need to put something about water inside it, right? And you want to put H2O. H2O. I want to change the water to the 2 to the symbol for 2 in water. I highlight the 2, and then I click subscript, which is next to the ABC with the strike through, and boom, I now have the symbol for water. That could get you a next mark, depending on what type of SBA you have. I've never seen an SBA that actually did this, but hey, that's okay. H20 is not a thing. Changes in font size, well, I mean, yeah. Let's say I want to take the heading and I want to change the font size from 11 to 14. I click 14, boom, 14. Good. Right, so highlight, go to the font section, change that to 14. Right, marks again. Then let's say I want to do page numbering. Jennifer, what is freezing? Is the stream is freezing on your side? I'm really not too sure what to tell you. Refresh your page. Sometimes it could be an internet problem that you may have, but that's okay. Happens to the best of us, because sometimes flow doesn't flow the way that it should be flowing. Alright, what else we have to do now? After that, we have page numbering. So let me show you what page numbering looks like. Okay. So I want to put some numbering on the page. I would go to Insert, and then I will see page number. When I click on page number, I can put the page number at the bottom of the page, and I choose anyone to get left, right, or center, and the page numbers will go down to the top. That's not good. Insert page number. Did I not say? Oh, bottom of the page, right hand side. Right, page number will go at the bottom right hand side. So what you'll see is at the bottom of each page, you'll see the number. So right now we're seeing page 1 there and page 2 there. That is inside the footer. Easy ways to get inside the header and footer is to double click on it. So if I want to double click and change the header, I could double click on top here, and I could put in a heading like make it simple TT, the best placed for IT classes online. What that does is that inside the header, I said header, yes? Header. Inside the header, it's going to put that there, and every time it's there, I'm going to now be able to look into all the pages, because I could zoom out, and every page will have the same header on top of it. Look, the heading on top there, right? Sometimes Jared, Google Meet, don't beat. They're not really adding up. Google Meet, don't meet, you know. Alright, whatever. Alright, so normally in your IT SBA, they will always ask you to put in some sort of header and put some graphic inside, right? So I want to edit the header. So I'm going to make sure I go into header and footer by either double clicking on top and the header and footer becomes available, or I could do it the long way by go by insert and then click on header. And when I click on header, I'll go to edit header, and then I will have the ability to edit everything that's on top there. The part that's underneath will become grayed out, as you can see, and the top will become editable. So I'll be editing the top alone. So usually we ask you to put in something in the header, and it must have a logo inside of it and a letterhead. So you're going to press insert pictures, and you're going to find your picture of whatever you need to find. Let me see if I can find a picture. Documents. Make logos. And I find my logo and I put that there. Boom. Right, so now this logo is in my header, and because it's in my header, guess where it's going to be also? It's going to be in every single other page. So when I close the header and footer, which is like clicking this red X here, you could do that. You could do that, and then when you zoom out, you realize every page is going to have the same header all the time. In order to demonstrate this, I'm going to create like about 10 other pages, right? So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to create some more random. Rand, open brackets, 100. So that means I'm going to get 100 paragraphs, right? So I create 100 paragraphs, and now I have multiple pages, and all the pages have the same header, because once you edit the header in one spot, it multiplies, well not multiplies, but it replicates going down to all the other pages, right? Okay, so I'm not seeing any scholar hats. That means everybody knew that already. Of course you did, even though I know for a fact students get trouble with it. Yeah. Students get trouble with the header. Alright, so we have the header there, and you put the logo in. Great, wonderful, that's nice. So, where we got to? Any two, bold, italics, underline, justification, center, right full. Yeah, we did that. Changes in line spacing, I showed you that. Superscript or subscript here, changing the font size, page number. Good. So these first 4 marks, lock. You know how to get those 4 marks there easily, right? Alright, next 2 marks. In any change in margins, page orientation, paper size, or text orientation, or correct use of header or footer, which I just showed you, so we already got this 1 mark already because we know how to do that. Change in margins or page orientation. Alright, so to change the margin size or page orientation, if you look at every page, you will see on the left hand side there's a little space here, and there's a little space there, a little space at the top, and a little space at the bottom. That is the margin. So what we want to do is to change that. You're going to go by design. No, you're going to go by layout. And in layout you will have margins. And the default margins will be normal. Normal means 1 inch on the left, 1 inch on the right, 1 inch on the top, and 1 inch on the bottom. But if I want to create more space, I could choose narrow. Narrow will now give me half an inch on each corner. The reason why you could change the margins is because sometimes you want all the words to fit on one page, so you just change the margins to let that happen. So you could change the margins to 0.5. Some SBAs will tell you to change one margin to 0.5 and change 1 to 1, right? So in order to do that, you have to go by margins and you have to go to custom margins. This is usually a common thing in almost every single SBA. You have to go to the custom margin. On the custom margin, what's the word? The custom margin prompt comes up. You are going to now change the top to 1, change the bottom to 1, and then change the left to 0.5, and then change the right to, sometimes it'll be like 1.5, just for fun, because I don't know why they would do that, because just for fun. Some teachers, they'll weird, right? And you click OK, and you'll realize that your margins are set up like that. So sometimes you need a margin on this side that's big because people have to write notes and something like that, so you could do that. That's not a problem. I tell you, some teachers just sit down and be like, okay, let me make up a SBA just for fun and give them this to do. Okay, yeah. Alright. Right, so that's margins. How much marks we have there so far? Alright, we do margins. We could also do page orientation and paper size. Let me do that there also. So you're going by the same layout section, and we could change the orientation from portrait to landscape. And if I change it to landscape, it will look longer. Like when you turn your phone sideways, for the odd reason, well, like when you're watching a YouTube video, you'll turn your phone sideways because you actually want to watch and read what's going on. And portrait will just leave it up like that, which is when you're scrolling up and down. Size, basically the sizes you need to know was letter and legal. So letter is 8.5 by 11, legal is 8.5 by 14. 14 means it's 14 inches long. 11 means 11 inches long. Whoop-de-doo. 8.5 is 8.5 inches across. That's usually normal paper size. Right, marks. Good. So far we have 6 marks, 6 out of the 20 marks. Alright, next thing we have to do, insert a graphic or chart in the document, or insert a graphic, chart, or table sized appropriately to fit in desired location or margins. Alright, so the graphic part, I showed you all to do already because I put it inside the header, right? Because I put my logo inside the header, I could put it there. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to put the logo inside the document somewhere along by the words, right? So I'm going to go by insert pictures. I'm so sorry for yawning there, guys. So sorry. Right. So I put in the logo, and what the logo is going to do is it's going to basically take up a line of space. But you realize all this white space that we have here, we don't really want that white space to just be lying in there doing nothing. So what we want to do is we want to change the wrap text. So you see wrap text here? Wrap text here will give you the ability to make it in line with text. In line with text means you have text, picture, text again. But we want to change it to tight or square. If I change it to square, you'll realize it will create like a little box around the logo. But if I change it to tight, it's going to try to match itself around the actual shape of it. So I'm going to change it to tight and show you. Tight kind of weird. So you see it's the words kind of trying to, what should I say, wrap around it as tight as possible. But we don't want to do that. Most of the times it's better to just do it with square. So square will create like a box around it. That'll make life easier. Alright, so that's inserting text inside the document. Sometimes you have to insert text inside the document. Next thing you have to do is insert a chart or a graphic or a table. So the hardest one, or the one that people normally do, is ask for a table. So let me show you how to put a table in. So I'm going to press enter, get to an empty spot like a new paragraph, and then go to insert table, and then I have to choose the size of the table. So let's say it's a 3x3 table. Cool. And I have heading, which will be students age and sport. So I have student, which is Bob, age is 16, sport is basketball, and then the next one is Bill, age is 15, sport is cricket. Alright, now I have a problem. I want to add a new student, but I can't add somebody to the table just like that because I'm not getting anything. So on Microsoft Word, there's this little plus thingy that's come up like that plus thingy there. So if I click on that little plus, boom, I get a new thing. So now I can add in Jane, because you always say, wow, he only put in boy names. He must be very sexist. No, he's not. And age, and Jane doesn't just play badminton. Jane plays football, because girls can play football too. Yeah. Right? And then let's say you have to add in a new column because the SBA asks you to add in a new column, which is very possible for it to do. Yeah, click add in a new column, and then the sport is, and after sport is qualified, and then you could put in yes. SBAs tend to be very sports based sometimes because that's what gets students excited. When you do things like lame stuff like elections, nobody cares. And when they do the elections, SBA, everybody will just be like, no, why really care about elections and candidates and all that stuff here? So, like, the real G's, the OG teachers, they know you gotta create a SBA that the children will actually care about. Alright, so, we create a table. Now, once the table is inside, putting the table inside the document is a next set of marks. So, whether this is a flyer, a brochure, or an actual document, yeah, this is what you're going to see. Alright, any questions so far? Everybody good so far? So far we have gotten 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 20 marks for the Microsoft Word part already. Like, literally, you could knock off the Microsoft Word part in probably 2 hours if you work hard enough. Alright, columns. Correct user in the entire document or selected text. Mostly correct in the document or selected text. Right, so this is a new thing where they're forcing you to have to use columns. Forcing you to use columns requires you to understand how columns work. So, watch me now. This is tricky. Columns only apply to the text that you selected for. So if I want these 3 paragraphs here to be in a column, I can highlight them, and then I go to layout, and in layout I will have columns. When I choose columns, I could choose 2 columns or 3 columns. So when I choose 3 columns, you realize that these boxes here, these paragraphs have now moved into columns, but all the other text is normal. The reason is because I only selected those 3 paragraphs. So watch again. I'm selecting these 3 paragraphs and I want them to be in 3 columns. Then I just select those 3 and that column will apply to 3 columns. Now if I go into the column section and I add more columns, like equal rand, and I add, like say 15 more paragraphs, all 15 of the paragraphs will come in a card random inside here. No, that's not going to work. Okay, cool. Randoms only work outside of columns. Okay, so let's say I copy all this text here and I want to put all these things inside the column section. I have to go to the end of the column. This is a common thing that students always mistake, and then the columns start to go all kind of weird and wild and thing. What you want to do is you want to go into the last place where the column is, press enter, and then paste your stuff. And then the column section will basically get bigger, but the rest of your document will stay the same. So remember, when you're inserting the columns, let me show you one more time. Make sure you select the text that is supposed to be inside the columns first. Don't try to insert the columns and then type in it after. It's better to type out all the stuff that I want, then select the text. Because what will happen is that you will go inside right here and click insert column, and absolutely nothing will happen, or your whole document will go crazy like this. And because you don't want your whole document in columns, you want to make sure that you select the text that you want to put in columns. Because I have seen multiple students come bawling, sir, when I tried to put in columns, the whole document went crazy. And I'll be like, yeah, did you select the text first? Select the text? I don't understand what you mean. Like, highlight the text? No, you should highlight the text. So, don't do this because your whole document will just formatting, and then you will think that you are really bad at your SBA. You're not really that bad, you just didn't know. So what you have to do is select the text that has to be in the column. Let's say it's these 4 paragraphs here. Select it first, then go to columns, and then click, and then you'll get the columns neatly. Right? Somebody answer Jaffa there now, man. Answer him. Like literally asking me if my live will stay up is one of the most unnecessary questions that I will ever get. But not that your question is unnecessary, because you knew, but lives always stay up. Once I'm doing it live, that means more than likely there's a reason I'm doing it live, because I want it to stay up for later. So it's cool. And you could share it with your friends too. And you could go in class and be like, hey, there's this man on YouTube every Sunday night, he doing stuff for the SBA, because we're not getting to do our SBA in school because of COVID and online learning, but at least he'll be able to show us the things that we need to do for our SBA. I'm your guy. Alright, that's where we are now. Columns, right? So again, you have 2 marks that you can get for columns, right? Correct use in the entire document or selected text, or mostly correct. So if you do the columns and you didn't do it properly, like how I showed you just now with if you have the columns like, which one is it by? Let me see. If you have the columns like, let me say you make the mistake and you click the columns like this. Right. If the document looks like this, you'll get 1 mark out of the columns mark, right? But if you get the columns to be done properly, only on the section that you want, which means you highlighted only that section, then you will get your 3 marks. I mean, you'll get your 2 marks for your columns, which will add up. So far we have 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, and 11, 12, because we put in the tables, right? Oh wait, no. We didn't do one thing with the tables. We have the tables, but we need to be able to format the tables by either putting thicker borders or shading the cells or putting in colors, right? So let's try going by this table, and I'm going to try to put in a border around it. So in order to get, there's this little box that comes up on the top left hand side here. When you click on that little box there, it will highlight the table. Once you highlight the table, you'll see a place on top called design or layout, right? If you go to design, you will see there is something called border styles, and you could click one of the border styles and just make do that. Next to border style, sorry, you'll see 1 point, 1 pt, which is line weight. Line weight means that you're going to weight the new line as thicker, so you could put the line weight as 4.5, and it should apply to the whole table. And then click on borders, and then click all borders, and boom, your table is really ugly now, but that's okay, because your SBA is going to require you to do something to your table to make it ugly, and that's all she needs. And if they don't want the table ugly, they will just ask you to put a color inside it. To put a color inside of it, you highlight it like so, and then you click a background color like so, and you could get the table to be green. Usually you'll put the table color to match the theme of your SBA. Let's say it's a sports team, and the team is the Boston Celtics, maybe. You could put the green there. Or it's TKR, you might want to put it red and black and start to sing champion. Actually, do not sing champion, because yeah, you'll show your age. Good. Borders and shading, right, cool. Right, last 2 parts now that I'm doing for tonight would be this one, key skills, right? So far we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 marks, easy. No problem so far because you are able to do these things. Even if you're not too sure what to do, you can fight up and figure it out because your brain works. Your brain works well. Now, we go into a little more complicated part. So, the effectiveness with which the candidate has or has confidently used and or manipulated. That's not what's going on there. Right. Effectiveness which the candidate has confidently used or manipulated the following: S06, S07, S08. So, any one of these will be used. Sorry, any two of these. So for the next two parts, you have to choose any two of these. One of them is a table of contents, one of them is a mail merge, and one of them is a fillable form. Tonight, I'm doing table of contents, and then I'll stop there because next week I have to show you how to do the mail merge and then how to do the fillable forms. Now, because the SBA has changed up so much, a mail merge used to be mandatory. Everybody used to have to do a mail merge. But now you could just do a table of contents and a fillable form, and you could totally forget that mail merge even exists, which I don't agree with. I think learning to do a mail merge should be mandatory. But who am I but a teacher in Trinidad and Tobago who teaches IT? So you have to choose any of the two. If I were a teacher and I know you're struggling through life and like you literally don't know how to do a mail merge, I would just make you do a table of contents and a fillable form, which is really easy. So let's go with table of contents. Okay, for the table of contents, I'm going to clear out this whole document, right? Just to show all your proof of concept. Alright, so let's say you have a document with, let's say we have 100 paragraphs, right? Right. Now each one of those paragraphs will go on its own page. Right now, how much pages I have? I have 9 pages, right? So what I'm going to do is at the first page, I'm going to insert a page break. Why I'm inserting a page break is because I want this first page to be blank. Inserting a page break is better than pressing enter, 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 enter. You really don't want to keep pressing enter for your whole life. You just want to put in a page break and you'll get to it. And this is the place where the table of contents is going to be. But that's going to put it as a placeholder, right? Because I'm not actually going to use it yet. That's just where the table of contents is supposed to be. Here is where I'm going to start putting stuff, which will be chapter 1. So chapter 1 is here. And what you need to make sure you understand, please make sure you understand this, that when you're inserting something onto a new page, do not go and press enter, 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 enter. Because that will cause you a problem, because when you type a new word and you put a new paragraph, like something here, when you press enter, this is going to get pushed down. No, it doesn't look like it's causing a problem there yet. But if I keep pressing enter and I keep adding new stuff inside here, like if I add a new word here, look at that. The space here has come up above this word here. So I don't want to do that. So you need to learn how to put in a page break. Page break. So when I put in a page break, I go to the paragraph that I start at and I go to insert. And I choose page break. What will happen is that a nice clean cut will be made between this paragraph and the start of this one. So even if I were to type stuff in here, and press enter, 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 it doesn't affect what is down here because it's going to, this is always going to start on a new page no matter what because I put in a page break. So what will happen if I press enter, enter, enter over and over? So imagine I'm putting in words here. Okay, now I'm going to put in some words equal around two new paragraphs. 2 paragraphs will appear, but this one is still at the top. Now I'm put in our next 2 paragraphs. Equal around. I'm put in 5 paragraphs now. What will happen? The 5 paragraphs happen. This goes down to the next page, but look what happened. all the space here is cleared because I said that this next sentence here must be at the start of a page because I put in a page break. Page breaks make your document easier to understand. Right? If you press enter for your whole SBA, Jared, you do that? Way boy. Of course not. Never. Yeah. If you did that, I would have taken away a mark from you because, well, oh gosh, like I expect better of you. Right. So when you put a page break, what you are saying is, I want this thing to start on a new page. So therefore, I want chapter 2 to start on a new page. Chapter 2. And then I can put in a page break here. Every time I see save time, I'm going to put in a page break. And I'm going to put in chapter 3. Save, where save? Save time. I'll put in the next page break, which will be chapter 4. Right, so I have enough page breaks now that could you access the command to accumulate random moves offline? Yeah. Just put equal rand, open brackets, close brackets, and it's cool. So now I have a document that's looking like it's broken up into chapters, right? So I have some chapters. I have one chapter that starts here, there's a space, and next chapter starts there, next one starts here, next one starts here. But I want my table of contents to be updated properly. Now, if you are in the lower end of Microsoft Word knowledge, you will go and be like chapter 1. ... and you will hold down the dots until you reach here, until you reach the end and be like, okay, it line up? I think it line up. Alright, cool. What page chapter 1 on? Chapter 1 is on page 2. Okay, so I'm going to put the 2 there. 2. And then you're going to press enter. And then this will happen and the dots will move across like that and then it will line up properly. And then you say, alright, cool, that works, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put chapter 2. Chapter 2. Yeah, right? That is not generating a table of contents. You are literally manually looking through the document to find out where chapter 2 starts, and chapter 2 starts on page 4. So because chapter 2 starts on page 4, you're going to change it to 4. And yeah, what will happen is that here's the problem. When you reach to like page 10 and thing, this gonna happen. You're gonna get like 11, and 11 gonna go across there, and then you have to take off one dot. And when you take off one dot, it will look like it's not lining up properly because the 2 here and 11 there. So when you put back the dot, the 11 kind of line up, but you can still see that it's not exactly lined up properly. So then you try to put one more dot and then 11 go across there. And then you sit down for a whole night trying to figure out, wait boy, how to get my table of contents to line up properly. It's now working because the 11 now going up because you're doing it manually and, well, you suck at this. So here's what we're trying to do. Wait now. All I didn't know Ren was a female? For real? Wait, Ren is out, a female out? Oh, they lost me. Okay, alright. That's an inside joke. We'll talk about that in the WhatsApp group after, because apparently... yeah. Alright, cool. So what we're going on now? For me to generate this table of contents by myself, with using Microsoft Word's tools, I'm going to have to make sure that chapter 1 is selected, and I'm going to go into the style section and make sure I put it as heading 1. So when I click heading 1, you see chapter 1 change to blue, right? Then I go down and I click heading chapter 2, and I'm going to change that to heading 1 also. I'm going to find chapter 3, I'm going to change that to heading 1 also. I'm going to find chapter 4, I'm going to change that to heading 1. Those are the 4 chapters I have so far, right? I didn't put any more chapters, right? Cool. So I have all those chapters in. And now, when I go to the start of the page, where I put the page break, I'm going to click insert. Not insert, no? Review, mailings, references. So I'm going to references and I'm going to choose table of contents. And when I click table of contents, I'll get a choice of table of contents, and wow, it will automatically give me a perfect table of contents with the exact perfect spacing, and there will be no issues. Right? Now, let's say yeah, a lot of y'all wouldn't have done a table of contents in the SBA because teachers would have been teachers may have been a little bit behind the curve in terms of knowing that you could do this in the SBA last year, because they just gave you the elections SBA. Tisk. Alright, now watch this. So right now as it stands, chapter 1 is on a particular page, on page 2, chapter 2 is on page 4, chapter 3 is on page 6, and chapter 4 is on page 7. But let's say I insert a whole set of words at the end of chapter 2. And I put 13 paragraphs after chapter 2. All of a sudden, chapter 3 is now not on page 6 anymore, on page 5 anymore. Chapter 3 is on page 7. So what do? Well, I go and I could go at the top of the table of contents and you'll see update table. When you click update table, you could update two things: page numbers only or entire table. Entire table would be if you added in new headings. Page numbers only will be if you have the same headings and you just update the page numbers only. You click OK, and look, the numbers have changed. Okay, so I'll show you. This is before, this is after. Before, after, before, after. So it automatically updated because I said chapter 1 is a heading. So what really going on in Microsoft Word is it's tracking every time it sees chapter 1. Or it's tracking every time it sees a heading. So you see, every time there's a heading, track it. There's a heading here, track it. So right now chapter 4 is on page 8. If I add two paragraphs here, if I add a few paragraphs here, you will see that now chapter 4 has gone down to page 9. So now I have to go back up to my table and now update the table by clicking here, update the table, and update page numbers only. And okay, now chapter 4 is on 9. Right? Yeah, Jared, the school's video nearly done. That most likely that should be pelting up tomorrow, right before it's time for you to crash CXE server. But hold on, we'll get there. I'll get in there slowly. I had to go and deliver prizes today, so I had to do the My Caribbean Story prizes video too, and then I feel like I'm gonna do pictures, because making videos every minute, so I'm cut out for this life. Alright, so we did that. Auto generation of table of contents, 1 mark. You get that. You in suitable location, yes, you get that. At least 2 levels of subheadings. No, we didn't do that yet. So let me show you the subheadings part, and then we will end this live. Okay, so let's say you have chapter 1 and then you have chapter 1 part 1. So I have chapter 1 and then I have this part here which is called part 1. Part 1, and then I have another chapter 1 which will be part 2. Part 2. Create some more text inside here. So we go to a new page. Right, good. So I have chapter 1 part 1 and chapter 1 part 2. I can create subheadings by highlighting part 1, go into the home section and go by styles and choosing heading 2. So because I chose heading 2, it's a different level from heading 1. So I'll go in my part 2 now and I'll choose heading 2. What will happen is that the table of contents will automatically figure out that chapter 1 has parts. So I'm going to update table and choose update entire table because I've now put in parts, and then boom! Now I have chapter 1 part 1, chapter 1 part 2, and they all saying what page it is on. And we good. Yeah. And if I were to change where chapter 1 part 1 is and part 2, so let's say I want to fill up the space here. And 13. Alright, so I filled up the space, and now part 1 has moved to another page and it's not on page 2. I could go and update the table of contents and choose update page numbers only, and boom, now chapter 1 has been broken up into different parts. All good there? Everybody good at that? Feeling confident? Alright, so that's table of contents. 1 mark there for the table of contents, 1 mark for suitable location, meaning you put it on the front page, I hope. Yeah. At least 2 levels of headings, which will be level 1 and level 2, and suitable headings chosen. I don't know. It depends on the SBA. You might get different types of headings chosen. That will be 1 mark each. And that gets you 15 marks so far. And then we just have to figure out the next 5 that we're going to get. So the next 5 would be mail merge and fillable forms, which I'll do next week, and then we'll be done with the first 20 marks of the word processing. So far we've gotten 15 marks in our SBA, and you could get that 15 marks too, right? So remember, yep, alright, any questions from anybody before? Any general questions about the SBA? Anybody in Form 5 and they're not too sure about how the SBA works or whatnot? I have about 9 minutes before I end. So how usually Sunday night works? Sunday night I do 8 to 9 is usually CSEC time, and then 9 to 10 is usually Cape time. If, however, CSEC taking real long and I have stuff to do, it will spill over into the 9 o'clock hour, and then the Cape people will get a little disadvantage. But that's okay. The Cape people are smart. They could stay up a little later too, right? Sometimes their life starts late. They just get vexed with me, but I mean, what you gonna do? Because pretty soon I'm going to be having a new batch of Cape people also, and they'll be coming for 9 o'clock looking for looking for work. So yeah, general questions. Anybody? If you want to know if the teacher could mark your SBA in pieces, if you're supposed to get the same SBA, if all schools do the same SBA, all kind of stuff like that, ask me now. While I edit. Please repeat the time, sir, for Form 5, 8 to 9 p.m. every Sunday night. Quincy Peters, how to program Pascal language, is now working with Easy Pascal. I'll teach you how to program. I'll reach to the programming part probably around the end of November. When things start to get hot, when things start to get real serious, and you really don't know how to program, yeah, I'll do the programming. I'm going to do is show you how to do the algorithm, and then I'm going to show you how to do the algorithm in 4 different languages. I'll show you how to do it in Pascal, show you how to do it in C, show you how to do it in Python, and I'll show you how to do it in Visual Basic, right? 4 languages I'm going to be doing because those are the most common languages that teachers will try to use. So I'll show you how to do the algorithm, and I'll program in each one of them just for you. Alright, so Quincy, you can let your folks know that. Well, your friends. Pascal, I don't use Easy Pascal. Easy Pascal is kind of weird. I use Dev Pascal. But when we get to the programming part, you should be okay there. If you're having problems with algorithms, you could go on the channel and you could search for algorithms, and you'll see I have a whole playlist on algorithms that could teach you everything from sequential all the way up to loops easily. Right, any other questions before I go? Alright, nobody else in Form 5 has any question about the SBA? Oh, right, yes. Thank you very much, Jared. Let me teach you something one time. Like, really. This is always a problem with students. So before you come and ask questions about, hey, sir, do you have anything about this? You know anything about this? And it'll be like, search the channel. Whenever I say search the channel, I mean go in the YouTube search channel, right? Go look for makeITsimpleTT. Once you see makeITsimpleTT, you will see the actual channel, right? Good. So you get the actual channel. All you see me there? Yeah, usually you will see the latest videos. You'll see the one that's live now. You'll see all the other videos are there and all that stuff. Yeah, cool. That's there. When you click on the channel, pause and take this in. There is a search bar inside the actual channel. It's this little magnifying glass here. And if you click this little magnifying glass, you could find anything that is inside this channel. So if you want to see the sample SBA from the specimen paper. Sample SBA. Enter. Guess what? It's going to show you inside of the 150 something videos that I have so far. It will show you all the videos that there. So believe it or not, the sample SBA that is in the let's call this thing, in the specimen paper, I've already worked out 8 months ago. Yes, 8 months ago. That was a while. That was when we was young in the game. But now we hitting puberty. Right. If you want to find out about algorithms, you go in the channel and you search the channel algorithms. Guess what? There are videos for algorithms. And you will see all the algorithms there, all different types of algorithms, and you will even see a playlist. And when you click the playlist, it will have all of the algorithms in that order. Let's see, if you want to learn about theory, and you type theory, you see there's a playlist, and it will have all the theory videos on all the different topics inside the in the new syllabus. Yes, Scotty. And last but not least, if you want to find anything about let's say it's past paper. Let's see, do I have any past papers that I've worked out? Oh my, look, lots of past papers that I've worked out. Multiple choice, past paper live, past paper live, past paper live, and you will basically be able to find a playlist on anything. So if you want, you go to the channel, and once you get to the channel, you could search for anything inside there and you see all the things that you want. Or you could just scroll through the playlist and be like, okay, let's see what playlist this man has. And you will realize that I have categorized everything into some neat, nice playlists for you to look at for anything that you want to know. Some of them are not available because those are my crash courses that are released whenever I'm getting closer to exams, just for fun. But there are other playlists and many different things, even for everybody. So yes, that's how you search the channel, and I'm probably going to take this clip and turn it into a video and put it on Instagram, because I'm positive that everybody's going to start to send messages. So you have a video on this, so you have a video on that, so you have a video on that, and I'm not going to be the next Kerwin Springer. Ask any man to do a next video on trigonometry when it has 6 videos on trigonometry already. Like, guys. Yeah. Alright, so to all the new Form 4s, to all the new Form 5s, it is your job now to share this with everybody in your class and let them know, hey, if all you want to get free help with your SBA, come on Sunday night and let me start to get these live numbers pumping. So from like 20, I think 30 was the number tonight. Let me see if we can get to like about 50 next week, because everybody needs help with the SBA and we're going on piece by piece. So don't come and say you find goal and you're not going to tell anybody because you don't want that man get a 1, or you don't want that girl to get a 1 because she don't deserve to get a 1 and that kind of stuff. No, we're not like that here. We're not like that here at all. Everybody could win, everybody could eat from the same table, and everybody could be fed. And nearly go to say in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, right? And yeah, that's it for tonight. Follow on Instagram. Instagram link here. Equals, I put equals sign, I guess. HTTPS Instagram.com. I put the Instagram link in the chat. So you could click on it as soon as you leave, right? Right, yeah. Follow Instagram and get all the latest announcements and news and reviews, updates and stuff. Tech Talk is on a Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. and Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. where we just talk about generally about technology. If you like technology a lot, you could check me out there. And don't forget to like the video before you leave. If you didn't like the video, well, thanks. Annabelle, you are welcome. I'm so glad that somebody said thanks. So I feel like I'm going to start to see you, and I feel you're going to become a second level OG. I could see it. Annabelle, you look like one that will stick for the long run. And next year May, you'll be laughing at everybody who wasn't there at the start. Yep. Alright, so Liam, I'll go on there. Thank you very much for your time. I will see you all next week Sunday at 8 p.m. All you people that waiting for your results on Tuesday night when I live on IG, we will share the stories about trying to get we'll share the stories about trying to get onto the website, because I could just imagine the stories coming. Good night, everybody. Bye bye.